What I'm eating usually doesn't change too much, but there are a few foods that I've been incorporating into my life more here recently. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. So if you've been hanging out on my channel for a while, or if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have a pretty good idea of the types of foods that I enjoy and work into my life regularly. Now that does change, of course, depending on the seasons, what's available, and what just sounds good, whatever time of year it is. But sometimes a new food will come in and start to become a new part of my routine. So in this video, what we're going to be talking about is some of those foods that have just become standards for me now on my grocery list in the past few weeks or so. And the first one of those is rainbow carrots. So I buy carrots usually when I go to the store. I keep them stocked up in our fridge, and that's always something that I keep on hand. Jason likes to pack them in his lunch, and then also they're just good as a base for soups and stews and stuff like that. But they had the rainbow carrots one week, and they didn't have the giant bag of carrots that I usually buy, so I got them, and they're pretty fun. So this bag has some different colors. So you've got your classic orange, but it's also got some yellow ones. I don't see any in here right now because I need to get a new bag, but there also are some like kind of light yellow, almost white ones, and then the purple carrots too. And it's a little bit more expensive than getting the super big bag of just orange carrots, but I've been liking it, and Jason has been liking it because it's just fun to switch it up. The colors are really pretty, especially if you like cut these up and roast them. You get all this nice mixture instead of just one solid orange color. So I think it's pretty fun, and sometimes it's not even about changing up the food that you're eating, but just getting something that looks a little bit different to make things a little more interesting, a little more exciting. The next food I've really been into is a bread, and this is the Rosemary Sourdough bread from the bakery section at my grocery store. So I do a lot of my grocery shopping at Wegmans, and they have a pretty nice bakery section there with a large assortment of different breads. And that wasn't a place that I normally hung out and like looked around, but I don't know, one week I thought, that sounds fun, why don't we do that? So I went and looked around, and I found this Rosemary Sourdough, and I thought it would be a good choice just because me and Jason both really like sourdough, and he loves rosemary like a lot. So I thought this would be a good one, and it definitely is. And so now it's something that I pretty much get every week. It's just been a nice thing to put in our routine, and it might sound weird because if you use bread a lot in your meals and it's like, okay, that's not anything revolutionary, and it's not, but it just hadn't been a part of our meal pattern. We do a lot of like roasted potatoes as a main starchy option with our meals, but this has been really nice because it's really easy, you know, to slice off a couple slices. It's really good for dinners where either the oven is taken up, and so roasting potatoes, maybe we don't have room for that or wouldn't really work, the temperatures aren't right, something like that. Also meals where I need to make something a little bit quicker, having this just makes the whole meal faster because I don't have to think about another starch to make, like rice or like potatoes or something else. So this has been fun, and it's also nice to have for snacks. I don't know, I've just really been liking it. The flavor's great, and it's been a nice way to switch things up. The next food I want to share with you is kind of a controversial one. Not controversial, but you probably have a strong opinion about it, and that is olives. Now, I love olives. Jason is not a fan of olives, but they've always been a food that I enjoyed, and you know, I usually keep some around and on hand, but here lately I feel like I've been buying them a lot more and just using them a lot more as far as like a snack option or something like that. I really got into buying them more here lately because we were doing a lot of salads, because you know, cool weather, you have all those leafy green vegetables, especially when the farmer's market was still open. I was getting a lot of heads of lettuce, and I like to put olives on my salad. So that kind of started me getting into them, and that's kind of a seasonal thing to me. I kind of tend to buy them in the spring and the fall to put on salads, but here lately I've just been using them a lot more, just going in the fridge and grabbing a few or whatever, and it's been kind of fun. So it's a food that I've always liked, but it's been having a more prominent place in my life here lately. Next on the list, we have something that I always buy a lot of this time of year because this is the only time of year you can really get them, and that is pomegranates. So I love pomegranates. I think they're super delicious. I really like sour foods, and pomegranates have that tart thing going on, so that makes them a favorite for me. And the way I typically eat these is I take about half of one and put the pomegranate arils in my yogurt in the morning. Really like it because it's got that sweet and sour combo. It's got some crunch. I just think it tastes really good together, and then they're also good for snacks and things like that. And so I just do a lot of pomegranates this time of year while they're around, while they're available. so that I can enjoy them while I can. Moving on to the next food, and that is blue cheese. And this is another one that isn't like new to me. I've always liked blue cheese, but I have been keeping it around more here lately. And that also goes back, same as the olives, to the salads. I like having some sort of cheese on my salad. Usually I would do feta or goat cheese, but I was at the grocery store and I was like, I like blue cheese. I should pick one out and, you know, try to incorporate that. And it has been a delicious choice, and now I've been keeping it around. And blue cheese is a cheese that I always liked ever since I was little, but in general, as a kid, I would have told you that I don't like cheese. I just didn't like it, kind of grossed me out, was not my thing. But as I've gotten older, I realized that I just have very specific tastes when it comes to cheese. I like blue cheese, I like feta, I like soft goat cheese, so a lot of the like more tangy cheeses. I like some cheddars, and I'm sure there's other things out there that I haven't even tried, but I just, you know, I have a preference. Some people just kind of like any cheese. If it's cheese, they're into it. I'm not that way. So I'm always a little bit cautious when I'm buying different cheeses because it can be kind of expensive. So I try to get smaller blocks just in case it's not my favorite thing. But the good news is Jason usually likes a lot more types of cheeses than I do. So if I'm not into it, he probably likes it and then he can eat it. But yeah, having this around has just been something, again, that feels a little more fun, a little more variety in my life. And that's a big part of just keeping your food exciting and interesting and not getting bored, is mixing in things like this that can boost up the flavor or just something a little different from what you normally have to change things up and keep things interesting. And let me know in the comments, do you have any foods like this that have just come into your routine here lately and been kind of a new thing that you've been adding in? Because at least for me, that is something that tends to happen. Like I, you know, have my standard stuff, but then every once in a while, these other things will kind of pop in to shake things up a little bit. So let me know if you have anything like that. And if you happen to be new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and videos like this one, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, it really doesn't have to be complicated, and I want to show you how to do it. And if you want to watch some more videos, I have a couple linked over here that you might like. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.